What's happening, guys? This is a Zapata Brand podcast. Quick Hits returns here again. Saturday. It's January 12th, 2025. We are live again. Last week we did a Saturday program. Today, doing another Saturday program. We thought it worked well.
Sunday, dummy.
Is it Sunday? Shit, it is Sunday. Wow. Oh, let's see who's in the chat there. We have Richard coming in from the chat. He's over there on the West Coast. Richard, how you doing? Well, first, let's get the introductions going. Jersey Jay-Z right there in the center, straight out of Jersey from his podcast YouTube channel to his, well, to my right, it would be on the right hand of the screen. It is Coach Diz. He has
what up?
Diz and Los, which is debuting in a few weeks on the Zapata Brand Media. And he also, those two, Jay-Z and Diz, both do a 4th and Goal show on Tuesdays at 8:05?
8:05, correct.
Jersey Jay-Z does, what's that?
It'll be this week.
Yes.
Okay, they're going to return this week. They're going to do that after the big football weekend. Well, let's get a little rundown of what we're going to talk about today. We have a lot of things going on. Obviously, we came back from the funeral of our good friend, Coach Wilson. We'll talk about that a little bit. The LA fires raging in Los Angeles. Holy cows, that place on fire. Dana White joins Meta on the board of Facebook. And I remember there was a lot of controversy with them initially. Dana White was a big proponent or opposition of Facebook because of the censorship. Now he's on the board. Raw on Netflix last week, their debut, a huge rating. A lot of people watching that. And then the NFL this weekend, the playoffs. And of course, shockingly, Canelo Alvarez flies out to London to meet Turki Al-Sheikh with a possible showdown with Terrence Crawford coming by the end of the year. So, guys, let's start off first. Let's just go right now to the NFL that happened this past weekend. One game still in progress right now, although I think it's close to being over. I do believe the Eagles are going to take this game. One game. Whoa, what's going on there? Okay. Let's go with the first game yesterday, Saturday, as Matt Godfrey joins the chat. His Steelers. Well, Matt, Steelers didn't look too hot.
No.
Diz, why don't you take that Steelers show?
Well, we'll go for the Steelers game first because the first game was
Texans.
Yeah, Texans versus who was the
Chargers?
Chargers, and that was a blowout. I wasn't expecting the Chargers to lose like that, but we'll go right into the Steelers now. It's what I expected. We got Super Bowl contenders, the Baltimore Ravens, just running rampant on the Steelers. I thought the Steelers defense would have played a little bit better, but they couldn't stop Derrick Henry. He was just running all over them. They don't even really need a good receiver because they have Andrews, they have Henry, they have Lamar Jackson, and Bateman. He was open all the time. So it was surprising me that the game, Russell Wilson didn't throw a little bit more to Pickens, but I know at the end of the game he got a touchdown, but it was mostly over.
Diz, you think Pickens is a problem at this point?
I've said that from the beginning. I didn't like him. I didn't like him as a fantasy player.
Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't like any of that. He's trouble. He's always has issues. There's plays where he's, it's not even by him, and he's fighting the defender. It's just he's a problem that you need off your team. He's let's say Antonio Brown type. Who's the other? Plexico Burris type. So
Plex kind of turned it around when he went to the Giants, though. He did,
and then he shot himself in the leg.
Yeah. Jay-Z, let me get this question to you. Where does this leave Mike Tomlin at this point?
He's a great coach. He's coming back. He always brings that team every year to at least the playoffs. They have always
at what point is it okay? You can't be eliminated in the first round of the playoffs.
You know what? I take Tomlin in a second for the Jets for a head coach, any second. But Russell Wilson Ravens are a great team, and I think they're going to go pretty far in the playoffs.
Next week is a tough one for them.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but we'll see. I think that's going to determine who gets it. I still think the Lions might win it all.
Yeah,
I'm behind you on the Lions.
Wow.
I think they're the best team. I think the Lions are the best team, and they're going to win it all. That's what.
Let's let's go to the game prior to that. The Houston Texans. I jumped in because I saw Matt Gottfried on.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans against San Diego Chargers. The Chargers, ever since I always have his rookie card. I'm waiting for his breakout year. He showed a little bit, okay, but CJ Stroud is someone I like. I don't know if he could bring him to the next level. I don't know, but he's the only one bringing 2 playoff wins for the Texans, first quarterback to do that. What's your opinion on the Texans? Do they go any further than where they're at now?
Joe Mixon's a good player. I think he keeps that team going. He's a good little drop pass to get that little going. But I think Joe Mixon makes that team. CJ Stroud is having a little down year, but I think they can go maybe win and get another win. But other than that, I don't think they can go too much farther. What do you think?
It's going to be tough. It's going
to be tough because they play the Chiefs in Kansas City. But again, injuries. Because if he had Stephon Diggs, if he had Tank Dell, those in the first 4 games this year, when I had Stephon Diggs in my fantasy, he was top 4. Top 4. Mm-hmm. So, that's a big piece to lose because even when it's 3rd and 8 or something, you drop that down to Stephon Diggs, he's usually about 100% catching that down there.
You guys both sold on Hubert for the Chargers?
Yeah, let me tell you something. He's because everybody Tyreek Hill wants to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill gets to that team with Ladd McConkey and J.K. Dobbs. They're a great team. Their defense is good. I was surprised yesterday, but their defense is good.
A lot.
Yeah, they did.
Threw 4 interceptions yesterday,
and that he never threw 4 interceptions the whole year.
The whole year. That's why it's just I
just think it was a good play. I like John Harbaugh as a coach. Jim Harbaugh. I'm sorry, Jim Harbaugh.
Jim.
But they're a good team. They're a good sleeper team.
Well, let's go right away to the Bills and the Broncos game here. 31-7. Josh Allen, again, I think solidifies himself as the MVP this season. The throw he made to Ty Johnson, you cannot put that ball any other way because even the defensive player just missed it underneath his hands into Johnson's hands. I mean, this team, I think, Jay-Z, this team looks unbeatable at this point. I know you said Detroit. What do you think of their performance today?
Well, Josh Allen actually just surpassed Jim Kelly with most touchdowns in the playoffs. With I think 23, I think it was. So he's definitely, I think, MVP over Lamar. It's close, but I think Josh Allen, they're going to give it to him. Bills dominated. They just killed them. I really think the Bills are going to be tough, but I still think they're not going to go over the hump and beat Lions. What do you think?
I think King Henry's going to run all over him next week. They play Baltimore. Yeah, he's going to run all over him, and I think Baltimore's going to take that game.
Boy, I don't know. Their defense looked tough today too.
Yeah, but they're playing the Broncos. You're playing the Broncos.
True, but still, the defense looked tough.
Lamar. I honestly think. I think Joe Burrow should be the MVP. I think Joe Burrow should be the MVP.
Statistically, yes. Yeah. Statistically. But Joe Burrow hasn't won this year. I know it's not his fault. Okay. I know it's not his. Well, he lost a lot. He threw a ton of touchdowns and massive yards. But if you're putting up 35 and the other team's putting up 40, there's nothing you could do. There's a certain point where the coaching staff and the defense got to take the responsibility for what's going on. You can't have that kind of a game and lose. You can't do it.
No.
But go ahead.
But I think it's going to be Josh Allen as the MVP. But Lamar Jackson has better statistics than he did his last 2 MVPs. So it's like, come on, he's getting better. He's getting better. But Josh Allen just has a good year. What?
Real quickly, guys, I want to put on here 16-10. The Packers are coming back.
Who they scored a touchdown?
The Pack did, yes. 16-10. It's in the fourth quarter. There's 10:45 left.
Still a lot of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of game to be played there.
See, that's the thing. I don't understand. Just hand the ball off to Barkley. That's all he has to. That's all they have to do. He had 9 carries for 60 yards in the first half. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I saw he had 4 for 25 or 4 for 26 in the beginning, and
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a big. I thought it was going to be a big, downhill running for Barkley. Kind of gotten away from it. Work defensively, they're doing okay, but if the Eagles lose this game, there's going to be a shakeup. There's 100% going to be a shakeup.
Oh,
You can't do that. You can't have the leading rusher, and when you're running the ball and you're not running the ball.
You know what they're going to start saying? Oh, should have they arrested those players? This is that.
About the rest
Last
and everything.
game.
The last game.
I don't. No, Barkley was the one they had arrest. I think and that was it.
William
Arrested
Allen.
everybody.
What's that?
William Allen, Bengals fan, rooting for Detroit.
Yeah,
Wow.
George, I saw the future on that, didn't I?
You did when they were 0-16. Was it 0-16?
Yeah.
The 1 year. That year, Diz told me they were going to win a championship. He said they were a sleeper team. Oh, they were a sleeper team, all right. They didn't win a game. Yeah, and then
they were sleeping.
They were sleeping. But then that goes to show you why the Jets, if they had the right coach, that coach, he changed them around. That whole culture changed. You need that kind of culture to emanate from the top to the bottom. You can't have Aaron Rodgers running the team when the guy at the top is letting him run the team. The guy at the top trickles down. It's like a business. I run my business here from the top down. You can't run it from the down up, or at least the most valuable player on that team can't do it, or you're gonna have a problem. Now, also, real quick news today. Next week we show up at Big Fly. Oh, good God.
Michelle,
just so you say, I did bet on the Flyers today to win.
To win when?
Just to win the game today. It was part of my parlay.
Today? They didn't play today.
Well, then it was. Did they play yesterday?
Yesterday they won 6-0.
Maybe it was tomorrow. I bet on it.
Tomorrow? We're going tomorrow. We're going tomorrow.
Who they play? Capitals?
No.
All right. Maybe they played the Capitals the other day. All right. Maybe. But I did bet.
Professionals is in the house.
Professionals.
Carlos. That's part of the Diz and Los team right there. That'll be debuting this year. I believe it'll be this month on the Zapata Brand Media platform, but it will be their own channel. So, guys, if you can also like and subscribe to our channels right now. We got Jersey Jay-Z in the center. He has straight out of Jersey to his left, my right. That is Coach Diz. That he's part of the Zapata Brand podcast that I have, along with Boxing and Bagels, and he does have Fourth and Goal with the brothers, and that debuts on. That's
just
always on
a little bit of every show.
We got a little bit of everything there. If you go to the Zapata Brand podcast media, you'll see everybody there. Also, one of the things, big news today: Patriots hire a new head coach.
Yes,
I think Vrabel's going to be a good coach for him.
Yes, Vrabel's a good coach.
And the Jets fans are just crying because that's someone we wanted.
Although Coach Diz heard who the Jets may hire.
They may hire Rex Ryan, apparently, now I just see a alert that's saying he may be out. Someone's reporting that they don't want him. I don't know. About 5 hours.
I think he'd be good for the team. I think he'd bring if nothing else, he's going to bring excitement. If nothing else, he's going to bring excitement.
Him and Rodgers would clash. Him and Rodgers.
What's that?
Him and Rodgers would clash.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be there next year.
I'll tell you where I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be.
The bench.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't think Tomlin would take his crap.
They're saying they're like the top team to get him.
I was just talking to Landon in the car. I said the Jets got to get a quarterback. They have to get a quarterback. However they got to get one, just get a quarterback. So think of building it around a young quarterback and have a guy who can put a team together around that quarterback. Like Aaron Rodgers is old. It's the Mike Tyson of the NFL. He's old. I am sorry. You're not Aaron Rodgers of the 90s. You're just
but their year was the year he tore his ACL. That was their year.
The Jets could have had Josh Allen. You know that.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder why they didn't take him.
They took Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but I wonder why. What backed them off of him?
I don't know.
Why did everyone back off of Randy Moss when he was clearly the best?
Well, that's because he had issues.
Well, why did the Jets back off of Warren Sapp? Same shit. Same thing.
And Josh Allen, he played for what is it, Minnesota or
he didn't play for a big school, and they were worried.
And that's the thing; he didn't play for a big school. But I know the Broncos did say to him, if he's there at 6, they're going to take him. And they took who did they take? They took like Von Miller.
Okay, well, that wasn't a bad pick.
No.
I mean, it helped them, but whatever. Okay, so that ends the NFL. Well, the playoffs are here.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs
What's the score?
right now. Okay, so it's 16-10. Jacobs had a 32-yard touchdown run. Packers cut into the Eagles' lead. There is 9:05 left in the fourth. That is a lot of time, folks.
Who has the ball?
And it is the Eagles' ball. Okay. Eagles just scored a field goal. So 19-10 right now.
Still
Fourth
a lot
quarter.
of time. Still a lot of time.
Did I say 7:33 left in the fourth. Well, let's get on to the next subject, guys. Let's talk about Raw on Netflix. Raw debuted on Netflix to a massive rating.
What did I say? Did I say it was like 4 point something?
No, I think it was 2.5 mil. Let me see. I get the right stats
2.5 is just in the United States, but I think internationally it was 4 something. 4.2.
It's still huge.
It was huge. Huge debut. It was 2.6 million US viewers. You were right. It was over 4 million globally. But
Matt Goffrey said 4.5. That's what
4.5. That is a massive number. They hadn't seen those numbers. Then again, you probably the Nielsen ratings are doing mostly United States, so you don't see that. The WWE is huge globally. Globally. They've slipped off in the United States a lot. Let me ask you, Jay-Z, why is wrestling down?
I don't think they have that it guy yet. You know, remember we had The Rock and Stone Cold and those guys. But I do think Triple H is going to try and bring back the Attitude Era, which he's trying to, as you can see. And that was huge. You know, they went a lot PG for a while. But I think the Attitude Era, I think, is coming back. And I think that's why the ratings are going to go up.
What do you think? Well, why wrestling slipped?
I just think they, just like Jay-Z said, they don't have someone that we can grab. You know, it's like our kids. They just didn't have no one to jump onto like we did. I like Cody Rhodes. I like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But they're not on the mic. They're not as good as like The Rock or Stone Cold. And I hope that, Triple H can bring the Attitude Era back so they can curse. Because it was pretty cool to see Rock up there cursing. It was.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny to see that. But let me tell you what I think, and let me see if you guys think the same way. What happened to the stories that they used to tell? I loved when you told an entire story about this guy, and the wrestling was an arm drag, and then he would when he would put the leg lock on him and what have you. Now everybody's flying off the top rope. Like when Jake the Snake gave you the DDT, it was over. Right? Yep. When Shawn Michaels gave you the super kick, it was over. Now those moves are incorporated in the match. It's not even over. Mm-hmm. It just to me doesn't feel like there's a story. And I saw Chino was talking about Hulk Hogan there on Raw, and it was crazy.
It was disrespect.
But a lot of disrespect there for Hulk Hogan. I believe I initially thought, and Jay-Z corrected me on this one, I initially thought it was because it was in LA. And the politics there can get a little goofy. Mm-hmm. But then I remember there was a lot of racial slurs that happened. Yes. I don't think Hulk Hogan will ever recover professionally from that.
I mean, did you see him walking down?
He looked bad. Yeah, he looked bad. That wasn't good. I see here. What's that?
But you know who I actually, I loved last WrestleMania. That story was great. It was because Dustin Rhodes and, The Rock and stuff. The Rock and, it was just the way they played it out, and he won the belt. It was good. It was good. So that's what they need, and they need to build. I like Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, I said Dustin. I like Cody Rhodes. I like him.
Yeah, William Allen said, "Did you know that WWE wants Scott Steiner's son?"
Yes, I heard that.
Steiner's son, and I heard that. Also, I did hear Rick Steiner had told me at one of the events I was at. He was telling someone else that they want to team the two sons up in like a Steiner.
Wow.
That would be pretty cool. That'd be going old school because you're there. They're unbelievable athletes. Those guys. I mean, they may not be all natural, but they're definitely.
Hey, Scott never failed the drug test.
A good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Brock
He said that.
Steiner coming to WWE. Yes, I believe he
Yes,
is,
do that.
Matt
Yep,
Godfrey.
Brock Steiner's
That's
coming,
it.
and I believe him and Braun are going to form a tag team.
That would be pretty cool. That
That's-
actually would be pretty
that's
cool.
a little rough.
I'd like to see it. I mean, I was intrigued by Netflix, and I think this is the new way. I think we're going to see a lot of this happening where people are more migrating to Netflix. I know the UFC, I believe, is going to close a deal with them at some point. I did the math. And they're getting paid 500 million. WWE is paying 500 million over 10 years. So if they up the subscription pay $2 or $3, I think it was $2. I did.
Yeah,
Netflix will end up getting like $50 million every year profit.
Wow.
just on the wrestling.
Just on the wrestling.
Now they're
Yeah.
big.
You
in
got
New Jersey
UFC
now.
because what?
What's
They're
that?
big on New Jersey. We are building a studio in New Jersey of Netflix.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Really big.
And I know in like King of Pressure they have something that says Netflix. It's a Netflix something. I don't know.
It's like a $600 million or something huge studio they're building.
I heard McMahon built the studio.
Yeah, he's
And
going
I think-
again. That's what I
He
heard
wants,
too.
yeah, he wants to put something together to go against WWE. That's what I heard.
Did you see he
Something
put out a little
Statement.
statement about it was a accounting error? Is that what he said? When he was CEO, it was an accounting error. That's why they overpaid for whatever they did. I don't know.
The SEC fined him for misappropriation of funds for not reporting the hush money that he did.
How much money
Okay.
they?
I mean,
so,
this is the stupidest thing. If you're a billionaire, why aren't you just paying the girl? Just pay her. Just pay her, get it over with. So here you go. But he was just being cheap. Like he was like doing dumb stuff. Like,
Because if
get
you
it
pay
paid.
one person, you're gonna pay all the people. There's gonna be tons of
okay,
people.
fine. Well, how about this? How about you not do it?
But it's done with now. It's done with. It's already out there. It's already been in the past. So it's all. If he would have paid 20 million to the one person, all hell would have broke loose.
I don't know about that. I think she was. I think she was the one. Riff Raff, Ruckus. I remember removed the mystique of pro wrestling. Really, yeah. No, I think Riff Raff, you're right. But let me tell you, it's funny he brings that up because I was looking at Kevin's channel.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, boxing is a cemetery right now.
Not
Boxing is a
anything else.
cemetery. All his MMA interviews, 10,000 views, 15,000, 60,000 views. He just had Keyshawn Davis on, who's probably one of the best fighters in boxing today.
Yep.
200 views. Like,
Wow.
it's dead. And that's Kevin's channel.
Yep.
Boxing is so dead. So dead. And I think a lot of it has to do with the money that was brought in from Turkey Al Sheikh, which we could piggyback
Go right into it.
Canelo Alvarez shows up in London, England, to meet Turkey Al Sheikh, flew in there, anticipating a huge payday. Now, the question remains, is it Turkey Al Sheikh going to put on a show with Canelo Alvarez because they didn't like each other?
I was shocked when I saw that.
The fact, I thought it was photoshopped at first. I said, that's got to be photoshopped because it was like a random channel I saw it on.
Mhm.
That's a real picture. Him and Turkey Al Sheikh together hugging with his arm around him. Now that goes back to where Canelo was making fun of him.
Yep.
Like holding everybody's hand and stuff. That's a very telling picture. Even the interview he had afterwards, they said, does this mean we're going to see Canelo against Crawford or Canelo against Benavidez? He goes, well, we'll see. He wasn't like, no, it's not happening. He kind of leaned towards there could be a possibility of this happening. Now, the question is going to be, is it going to be Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford? Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez? David Benavidez has a lot of close ties to Turkey Al Sheikh, but so does Terrence Crawford. The difference would be David Benavidez is a big dude. He's a big dude, and he's fighting supposedly for the undisputed light heavyweight championship from the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol, which is the 22nd of February.
Yep.
But Crawford, that leaves that door open for Crawford. The problem there is the size difference. Diz, do you think Crawford just says, screw it, I want to cash out? Or do you think they pull a swerve on us and get Canelo against Benavidez, which is what we've wanted for about 3 years now?
So I think they're going to put Terrence Crawford versus Canelo, and I think Crawford's going to be like, whatever, I'm just going to go up. You know, he walks around like probably 160 already, maybe.
Yeah, but
Crawford-
Canelo's close to 2.
Yeah, he's like 200. So,
Mhm.
okay, let's go down to maybe 170 a catch weight, maybe. Um, but I think that Canelo and Benavidez want to fight in either Houston or Dallas. That's why I think they'll get more fans in Dallas.
Yeah,
So
but the question's always going to be: is it about that, or is it about the question? Is the question about the fans, or is the question going to be about how much money you get? Because at this point, that money's hurting.
yeah,
It's hurting boxing. I'm all for the fighters making as much money as you can, but
but
boxing
it kills the game.
it kills the game because boxing was out of necessity. You had to box. You had to because that's the only way you're gonna make money. Now they're throwing $20 million to you. Tank Davis, look at it. He wants to retire. Get his $20 million and get out.
Don't blame them if they get the money.
I don't. But then that kills the sport because,
Yep.
like, who's the next guy in line?
Mhm.
Who's the next guy? I will say, Turk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think Logan Paul has stuff? Maybe he also helped ruin some of the boxing.
Logan or Jake?
I mean, Jake Paul. Sorry, Jake Paul.
No, because
I think
mean,
he got more eyes to it, to be honest with you.
got more eyes to it. I mean, he put the fights on. He was putting Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor on. He was putting the other people on. Like, say what you want about him. Number one, he's not a bad fighter. He's average. Like, I would say top 20 amateur. Top 20 amateur. Like an amateur.
Okay.
But like an open class amateur who's won a gloves, something like that. That's it. He won't win a national title. He won't do that because he doesn't have that kind of technique. But I just saw a sparring match with a guy who's a pro against a brawler.
Yeah.
And the pro got knocked out. Like, he was out. He was sleeping, snoring out.
Wow.
So, it could happen. A guy who has some decent skill, and the brawler had some decent skills. And his boxer was moving, jabbing, popping a jab, and he got hit, and he was on crazy legs and almost out.
What's up, Dan? How you doing?
Dan Canelo there. I saw him on your show with Greg on Thursdays at 8:00. Dan was on. It was great to put him in on the chat, which was great. I mean, to have that communication and get that engagement, it's always good. We do invite you guys to come on at any point in the chat. One of the things I was going to tell you about the Canelo fight too is if Canelo fights Crawford, I think it's an easier fight because of the size, and he goes off into the sunset. He fights Benavidez. That could be he's forced into the sunset.
Yeah.
I don't know, but ultimately I think he won't. I think he's going to fight the smaller guy. I think Turkey Elishik will offer him $30 to $40 million. Crawford offered that kind of money, and I think Canelo is going to make upwards of $100 million. They will fight. I believe they do. What?
More than 100. More than 100.
Boy, I don't know. That's a lot of money. I don't care who you are. I mean, he has $1 trillion. William Allen said, we need another wrestling promotion to watch. AEW is not entertaining at all. No, it's not. And by the way, their attendance is awful. There is nobody showing up to AEW. Now, Jay-Z, Rich Mancuso and you are going to go to an AEW card. He's good friends with the owner, Tony Khan.
Yeah. He's taking me to the show, go backstage, passes, and I
you
think
have
I'm
any
going to Chris Jericho, but I'm not really interested in some of the AEW guys. It's not really crazy.
It seems like it's like WCW light, even WCW light.
Yeah.
That's saying something because WCW was average. Although I did like the option to have that. Sometimes you like Pepsi, sometimes you want Coke. Every now and then, like your main thing is Coke, but maybe you throw a Pepsi in there every now and then. AEW ain't even Pepsi. It's like Shasta. AEW is horrible.
Did you see Chris Jericho's match, by the way, against, I forget what guy it was. It's all over Instagram. He went to hit him and he totally missed. And he punched the referee because the referee was supposed to get hit but he completely missed. So Jericho had to smack the ref. It was bad. It was a Three Stooges, segment. It was bad. Really bad.
So bad. Well, speaking of bad, okay, so these fires out in LA.
Yeah,
let's get to that real quick. Dax Hardway. Yes, that was right. He's right. Matt Gottfried is right. I did see that. Let's talk about these fires in LA. There's two things to think about this.
Crazy.
There is a wild conspiracy theory going around
George, I'm telling you, I think that might be true.
I don't know. And I'll tell you why I don't know, because I don't know because that would be hard to pull off, but
what is the conspiracy people are saying?
Okay.
So
the conspiracy theory is this conspiracy theory is that they're allowing these fires to go down, to burn that down, because the city of LA is not allowing any permits for them to build a smart city. Smart city, like is in Saudi Arabia, how it consists, and the government controls everything.
Yep.
They control everything. Okay. Cashless, be cashless too.
Wow.
Okay. Supposedly they never got these permits. They can't get them. They're not doing it. Allegedly, this was burnt, and they're going to let it burn because there was no water. 2 months prior to that, all these insurance companies bailed at the same time.
Yep. And I think they
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And I think you see like the smart city in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. They're building it now where it's like
it goes straight up
100 miles across too. You have everything in there. You have your weather changes, everything is in. It's like a whole dome, but it's a whole living area. It has gyms. It has trains that take you to every town and stuff. It's crazy.
But yeah, Tyler Perry actually just tweeted. He mentioned that one of his friends' insurance policies was canceled prior to the fire, and he thought that was very odd.
Okay, but I think he's all involved in this stuff too. I think when it starts to affect the high elite people, and if you noticed, only a few people have come out. Okay,
Paris Hilton.
You have Mel Gibson.
Yep.
He's pretty strong. Hey, something's going on here.
Yep.
When you get the elite people getting bothered, that's when you know something is on a whole nother level, because they're losing their homes, no insurance. Now they have the money to cover it. It's funny. I saw this one guy going like, my home, now I had to go to my winter home. I'm like, what the hell? Like, so they've got the money to cover it, but it's the poor people who don't have the money that are out. They're totally out. This reminds me, reminiscent. I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Sand Road. Okay. They wanted to build that hospital there. They just said, hey, we're taking this over. Started condemning houses.
What do you mean? The apartment complex?
Yes, they started coming forward. And you go down Sand Road now. Now, Sand Road was predominantly an African-American area. Low income. Okay. The houses were a little disheveled. Go down Sand Road now. You can't even tell. It's like Westwood. I was just there. It almost seems like they're pushing people out, the poor people out. Say, you go out here. Let these people take over. And then they're going to get this stuff in with these smart. I mean, I know it sounds absolutely nuts, and people are going to think I'm crazy. We'll probably get flagged on YouTube. We probably will. But
I will tell you this too. Like, our construction for buildings is so behind in any other country.
I know.
So they're like, look, we have to do, but they're not passing no laws. They're passing the permits. They're not passing any permits for even in like New York and any other place too.
Riff Raff, I did hear that too. That they were letting things go because of all the stuff we did. This stuff is so crazy.
Wow.
But now listen, the worst part of this whole thing, did anybody see Gavin Newsom?
Yes, I did see him.
He's
not that bad.
No, Gavin Newsom's a mess. Gino goes, they got loot on Sand Road now.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, Chino, go down there. I'm like, what just happened to Sand Road? I mean, really, between there and Pascack Road, it was upset. I'll tell you what, Mr. Lipsy's house is still there though. Got to upgrade a little bit, Mr. Lipsy. He's the only one there in the corner. Oh God, I don't even know if they live there anymore. They probably don't. As a matter of fact, I think he passed. But Gavin Newsom has this smug attitude as this lady's telling her, can you? He's like, yeah, I'm on the phone with the president now. So let me see. It's like, well, I've called, I've left messages. He's not answering. It's going right to, I don't have service. That's what he said. I don't have service. That is why we can't trust anybody.
George, let me just tell you, that was George's like, he's going to come and save the president. He's going to be the president.
I thought for sure. I didn't say save. What are you talking about?
No, well, save the Democrats. Save the Democrats.
Yeah, but they were so far gone at that point. They were so far. They were so invested in Kamala, they couldn't turn the other way because number one, they're DEI.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to tell me they're going to take an African American woman and push her to the side for a white guy that's wealthy with good looks and everything else? They wouldn't. Everybody would bail on the Democratic Party. They would just jump out because
they did already.
Then you're yeah, but then you're hypocritical. Then you're hypocritical to what you just said. Your thing was we want everybody to be hired, which this is what we got to do. And then now you look at the DI hires now. Look at the people in LA. You have, I'm not saying they can't do the job, but the fire department there and everything else is DI hires. Yep. You need a leader, and Gavin Newsom is not that leader. He has destroyed California. It is the first time in decades. I think that the migration is more than the coming in. I don't even know how anybody could live in LA or live in these places. It's so expensive.
Yep.
You know, it's just what it is. We have Tech Dumb Dad. I think he just did. Hey, George, long time no talk, brother. Prayers for those affected by the wildfires. Californians, please get rid of Newsom. California's doing. Tech Dumb Dad, thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it. I've talked to Tech Dumb Dad. He was on George Djokovic's show a lot. He has been with me for a little bit now. We haven't spoken in a while because Tech Dumb Dad, boxing is dead. It's in a graveyard. Honestly, it's just so dead. Now, February coming up, we have some good stuff coming up. We have the Benavidez fight. We have what is the other one? Tank Davis fight. A couple other things coming down the pipe. Daniel Dubois is fighting. Yep. So there are some things going on. There are some, but mostly this place is dead. We need something coming up. I heard Tyson Fury is going to fight with Anthony Joshua. I was told that, but I don't know if that will happen down the road. It won't. But getting back to the California again, guys, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. California needs leaders. Almost, and Tech Dumb Dad, you could hear me with this one. Like boxing, Dana White is the best at what he does. He's the best, and he has that, and he has UFC going into the stratosphere. And we'll talk about what we were talking about before. You need a leader. If you do not have a leader, everything will crumble. You know what the hell? Like, you can't have these people leading a state and they can't even get the budget right. You can't even have water in California where there's known to be fires. There's known to be fires, and you can't even have water there. Yeah. That's a big problem, just in general. You know, Jay-Z there, Dan's setting a point there. What do you got there? Yeah, Larry Elder. Oh.
Larry Elder in California totally dropped the ball. Now look at it. They suck in Newsom.
Yeah, It's bad. It ain't good. It ain't good. It's going. Well, Jersey's going to be the same way if they can't get their act together. You know, and I'm not saying it's because of a Democratic leader or a Republican leader. It just has to be a leader either way. And let's get into the story right now with Dana White. Dana White jumping on the board of Facebook, Meta. Yeah. Tremendous thing. Again, one of the reasons why I get so frustrated with boxing. Dana White is progressively going promoting his business to people who want to be in that business. Mark Zuckerberg, one of the wealthiest men in the entire world, let alone country, is a big fan of UFC. So why not reach out to him and have that kind of conversation?
Yep.
Excuse me. Boxing keeps everything to themselves. Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, they keep everything to themselves. With him going to the board, and I'm going to ask Jay-Z,
huge.
Do you see Meta now loosening up? That now we're on the YouTube platform, but do you see Instagram and Facebook loosening up with the freedom of speech? Because Dana White is a huge freedom of speech guy. Do you see that loosening up now?
I think it may. I think it may. I'm not sure, but I think it's so. Dana White personally. So you met him.
Well, we had a meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to call him up. He's not going to believe me. He'd never take my call.
well, I mean, he really smart guy, really smart businessman, right? When you talk to him.
Oh, he's unbelievable. He was telling me stuff about the bagel business I should do here. And he's just like, do this, this, and this. And honestly, I've implemented some of those things. Some reason guys who just have it.
And I think that's one of the reasons
That's
why
what it is.
start going. They're gonna listen to Dana because he's a very smart man.
Well, they said because Facebook is struggling.
I'll tell you a couple things too. I think they will release some of the sanctions and stuff of Facebook and stuff, because if you saw Joe Rogan had Zuckerberg on, and Zuckerberg said that the Biden administration was calling him, saying, look, you got to take that stuff down. You got to do this. You got to do this. And it was basically like bullying him. But then on the other hand, now you got Dana White, UFC, going to Meta. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on with ringside, with some glasses, and you'll be inside the ring, because they're advanced with all this virtual stuff. There's going to be some stuff for the UFC that no other sporting event will have.
Were you the one who told me about that arena? Was it you or Kevin who told me there's an arena that you could sit down and it's
I did.
Yeah.
It's in Texas. They're all over. Like, it looks like you're actually in the field.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. That could up the experience and what there you generate more money. You know what I mean?
UFC, Dana White, generate more money. Boxing going down. I mean,
I'll tell you what. I came up with this theory. I didn't put it together. Of course, how many inventions have I made, Diz, that we've talked about that come out 20 years later? Where you could actually put something in the gloves. It's would be a thin type of like a pressure thing. You could see how hard you hit, what kind of effects it has, and all that other stuff.
And how many punches were thrown connected,
and
then take away.
Landed. They do have something.
That's where AI will come in effect. Calculate those to be the judges.
And you could do something like that. Now, the AI judging wasn't the greatest.
No, but it wasn't going to be. The first one, it's going to take a little bit for them to gain the computer system to learn.
And what I believe is if they could put a system in play like that, and you could take out all the bull crap that always happens. It always happens in boxing. Boxing will be better. I'm not saying there's going to be any bad calls, because if you just saw this weekend, that guy that got the ref stopped the fight 2 seconds left, that was a bad call. It's a bad call. But the referee's job is to protect the fighter. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. The guy that eyes roll back in the head 2 seconds left or not, that's what it was. But if you get a fight like a Meldrick Taylor Chavez fight, there was questionable crap that happened. There's a couple 2 seconds left. Stops it. There's a relationship between Richard Steele. There's all this other crap. This eliminates all that. I don't know if it'll ever work. I have no idea. But Dana, I'll say, is one of the smartest men I've ever met. He's a brilliant guy, fearless, has no fear, and just a down to earth guy, a guy that you didn't expect. You wouldn't expect him to be like that, a billionaire. And invited me in, welcomed me, talked to me about my business, talked to me about what can improve in my business, what I could do. This is what his regimen is. Yeah, those are the guys that can be leaders. Unlike, Gavin Newsom, the guy, I think he hurt himself so bad, because I still thought
he will never be president. Never. He will never run now.
Now he'll run. They'll clean him up a little bit. Tech Dumb Dad, said just exactly what you said. It's a learning machine. It'll go better as it learns. He works with. I work with AI at my job. I've seen our AI go from kindergarten stupid to high school stupid in 4 years. It's still got a ways to go, but it has improved a lot over the last 4 years. Yeah, and I just don't know how much they'll implement in boxing. They never like change. Boxing doesn't like change. They hate it. Although I will say this. Major League Baseball could implement this pretty easily.
I think they're starting to.
Yeah.
Like the strike zone?
The strike zone, they could do that. Mm-hmm. With AI.
Because it's kind of, if it hits this, it's a strike. If it doesn't, it's a ball.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think it would do.
Yeah, football
Um,
would be tough, I think.
Well, football,
Yeah.
you put like something in the tips of the balls and pause, and then it's if it crosses the line, then it reacts to where it's a touchdown or something. There's ways that they can.
I'm going to
Maybe.
quickly, guys, check the score here to find out what's going on with the Eagles. I'll look at right here, give you guys the up-to-date score. It is now 22-10 Eagles, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This game, I believe.
Who has the ball? Who has the
is
ball?
over.
Packers, I think.
Packers have the ball. They do, but I believe this game is going to be over.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got
Tech-
on the agenda for us today, George?
So we had Raw, Dana White, LA Fires, Canelo.
Khabib?
Oh, that's right. Khabib Nurmagomedov on Alaskan Airlines was removed.
It wasn't Alaska. He said it wasn't. It was air something. It wasn't Alaska. He came out with a report. Yeah.
Okay. Get rid of the promoter monopolies and the crooked judging on box will be king of sports. Yeah, I know. No, it's tough to do that. Khabib was and that was a weird thing. Now, here's what I'll say about that. When I saw that, it was Frontier. Carlos said it was Frontier. There is no way Khabib's on Frontier. Only my wife books Frontier to save $1. So that looked a little bit racist to me, just a touch.
Yeah.
And I'm not the guy who's going to pull the race card. I only do it if I need it, my advantage. But they said that the girl was not comfortable with him being there.
Yeah.
That is kind of borderline there. That's like a lawsuit waiting to happen there. Because what do you mean you don't feel comfortable with him there?
She couldn't understand his English, so that's another red flag.
I think they saw a Muslim guy there, and
not
she didn't
just
know
one. There was like 3 of them too.
True, that is true. His team was there. That kind of bugged me a little bit. I don't get bugged by that a lot. That is not where you want to be as a customer service. And again, the reason why the airline system is as stupid as it is because they're run by the government. When the government runs the airline system or runs anything, they mess it up. There is no accountability there. There's going to be no accountability there. There should be. Because once those marshals or the supervisor got involved, that was it. There's nothing Khabib can do. I don't care if you're Khabib or Putin. There is nothing you can do.
I don't know, Putin.
Yeah, but again, you're going back to why was he removed from the plane? Because someone who was on the plane felt uncomfortable with him sitting at the exit.
Yeah, that's
news. Let me tell you, newsflash, lady. If you got to use the exit on a plane, you're all going down. No one's surviving.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter if he opens the door or not. You're done. Everybody's done. Nobody in a plane that I've ever known has ever pulled over on the side and changed a tire. You're done. You're going down. It is over. So why bother a guy who's sitting there? He was doing nothing. He did nothing. He did not bother anybody. His people that were with him didn't bother anything. That was a very suspect thing.
Lawsuit.
Did you ever see that?
I think that's a lawsuit, right? I heard about it, but I didn't know it was a.
I don't think it'll be a lawsuit. I don't think he'll take it to that far because Khabib's a nice guy. That's the thing.
He's an honorable guy. Like he's big in the honor thing. But you talk about opening yourself up for a lawsuit. Holy cow. I couldn't believe I thought something happened. But then upon reading it and looking at it, Khabib did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. He just sat there. And even when he left, he just got up, got his stuff, said, see you later.
And he went on another flight and he's already on his way to Vegas.
No problem. Where was he coming out of?
He was going to Los Angeles for the fight.
Oh, was he going there?
For next week. The fight's next week.
He was wearing the wig, I think.
That big hat he wears? I think remember the big that big hat he wears?
Yeah. That is the military Russian hat that they have. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, Jesus. Oh man. So let's go. Well, let's talk quickly about the funeral. Went to the funeral there of Coach Rob Wilson. We had the tribute last Sunday. I keep saying it's Saturday. Last Sunday. Went to the funeral. Well attended. A lot of people there. People that I haven't seen in a long time. Jay-Z, I know you caught up with a couple of the people there that you
a lot of people I haven't talked to in a while. Really nice.
Who was there that you talked to? You want to give
Robbie
a shout
B,
out?
Dennis Donovan always. Dennis Donovan's always someone I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Get me a cigarette. I always forget that. Get me a cigarette.
Bob Farley.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, it was well attended. It was it was funny because I was, well, not funny, but I was talking to people there, and you want to go there and you want to, it's all good now. Like, it's all good now. It's the weirdest part. It's all good right now. You know, there's a lot of people there. Mr. Wilson's there with a lot of people there. They're talking to him. They're giving him food and giving us up. The hardest part is going to be like Monday morning. This all over. You know, and everyone leaves. They're all gone.
Yep.
The person that you had dinner, that you had breakfast with every Sunday, your son, is now not there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone you talk to every day. And losing your son or any child is the worst in the world. The worst in the world. Although it is final. You know what I mean? It's a final thing. Like, they're gone. There's no coming back. It is the most difficult thing to do. And to have it come back where it's hard to all of a sudden things change.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost feels surreal.
Yeah.
The whole thing seems surreal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still, I'm thinking like, that was true? That would have happened? You know, just
I remember when Lynn died. When Lynn died, it was like, what?
Yeah. When David
We were playing with her the night before, throwing snowballs.
Yep. And we had a snow day.
We had a snow day, and she didn't wake up.
And she didn't wake up. Mm-hmm. And if they had school, then maybe, you know, she would have been up.
I mean, her mom said that.
Her mom said that to us.
Yeah, it's a crazy, but it almost lives like, you look at your mortality as it's like the time that clock is being clicked over. As you sit here at 48 years old, I looked at it the other day. I'm like, holy cow, this is getting, and you start to do more things. But it was a great thing. We went to the Glen Rock Inn afterwards. Everyone was fun, had a good time. They were laughing. It was awesome. I was so happy to be there in New Jersey. I'm going there tomorrow, going to the Flyers game. I'm sitting right behind the glass. If you guys want to see that Flyers game on TV, if you have it, right behind the glass, second row behind the Flyers bench.
Just look for a big fat Puerto Rican.
For a big fat Puerto Rican right there.
Our tolls in New Jersey went up again.
Yeah, I did.
Did they go up again?
I did see that.
Again. The tolls in New
On
Jersey.
what? Which
Garden
ones?
State Parkway, everything. Garden State Park, everything up. Another 30 cents.
Lincoln Tunnel's like $27.
Yeah. George Washington Bridge is like $30 to cross.
Why is it so high?
I don't know. Every year they just raise.
Why are they always broke? Why are they always broke?
I don't know.
Like, I have to raise my prices in the next couple weeks. You just have to. You know, eggs are $5 something a dozen. You got to raise the price, okay? Well, okay, that's because my cost went up.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me what the cost is for that bridge that's been there for decades, that they've been working on every day for the last couple decades. Explain to me how much that has gone up, because now they've taken stuff away.
Mm-hmm.
What's the thing? Easy Pass. So there's no employees there. So what has gone up for them? Don't tell me you're fixing crap, because they're not. They are not fixing anything. That's been broken for years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big scam. I'll be honest. That's a big scam. That is one of the biggest scams. You're a U.S. citizen and you have to pay to get into another state. Come on.
I know.
It's crazy.
The amount of taxes that they get, the amount of tax that the states get, and we'll go back to California too. The amount that they get, California has gone over the 50% mark. So basically, from January 1st to the end of June, if you took every dollar, you'd give it to the government, the rest would be your check. Think about that. And God forbid you made over $200,000. You know, it's a nightmare. This whole system's a nightmare. And I can't get, why would you raise, it makes no sense that you cross the. If you were getting like shuttled over, or there weren't huge sinkholes in New Jersey. Do you see that sinkhole in New Jersey?
Yeah.
If the roads were fixed, I wouldn't have a problem because you're paying for something that you're getting. If I told the customer we're going to give you a bacon, egg, and cheese, and we're going to charge you $8, and I took the bacon out, they'd want their money back. How do you not get what you pay for?
You know, I would really want to know where all that money goes to.
I'd love to do an audit. I'd love to do an
just
audit.
to see it. There's probably no money going into it.
The lady at the toll booth, because when I go that way after work. She told me, she goes, well, the people who salt the roads in the wintertime on Garden State Parkway, the cost went up for salt. And I'm like, okay, this is what she was telling me. And the people need more money. The union workers.
Oh, God.
I was like, okay.
Well, the salt makes sense.
We haven't had a storm in a decade. 90-something was the last huge storm.
Yeah. We don't get big storms a lot.
We don't get big storms anymore. What happened to global warming? They just don't do it. They don't do it. So what's that congestion? The congestion fee. That's what it is. Yes.
It's still congested.
I was there last week. It can't get any more congested. If it is, it's called a parking lot. That place was packed. 208 was packed. I was like, get me out of this place. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. When I crossed that Delaware Water Gap, I feel safe. It was like when I used to go to the city. When I crossed over that George Washington Bridge, I felt safe. I'm like, man, this is horrible. But what the other thing is, I heard the Turnpike, the people get paid $100,000 per section, and they have one guy to watch a section. Now, I don't know if that's true or not.
What?
I was like, $100,000, $9 to cross waters, peak time. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Mike, here, Carlos, what's the reasoning behind that?
What
are they going to do? They're going to go at a different time?
I don't know.
Like, what's the reasoning? Congestion? Because you know what they're doing in the fast food restaurants. Did you see that?
They are doing that. Even
doing
DoorDash, Uber Eats.
They're changing the prices to the customers, to the drive-through, and then in the store. They're switching them like in real time. I saw that.
George, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, you do the food industry. So I've heard this because they're doing this in New Jersey, and I don't know if they do it with you. When someone pays with a credit card, you can charge them a surcharge now, right? Is that true?
Yeah. Okay. Well, go ahead.
If they do a debit card, you can't charge them, but people do. So if they use their debit card to do it, you're not supposed to charge them because it's not technically a credit card, but people do that in Jersey now, and they're getting away with it. So I don't know. You do business.
Here's how it goes. Okay, the guy who owns the business is going to have to pay regardless. This is what drives me crazy. We have no option other to take a credit card. Most people don't have cash. So you're going to take a credit card. We are being charged every month. I get about a $1,200 fee out of the blue air. Because those are transactions and everything else. They say this is what you got to pay us. Do you not realize what you talk about scams? Yeah. Just randomly because they use a credit card. Now, debit cards. There's a way you can set it, and I think the bank has to have it where they know if it's a credit card or debit card. They'll know. Okay, because it's connected to the account. This is one of the biggest scams going. Not only at the end of the month, we are always paying a certain amount. They charge you 25 cents a swipe. They charge you this, and they're like, "Well, you get to charge that to them." Right? Okay, fine. But we still have to pay for them to swipe a card. You still do. If someone came to me and bought a bagel for $125. I raise my prices to $125. Okay. So if they swipe the card, I still get hit with 25 cents. Still, regardless. Wow. Even if I charge them a certain percentage, 1%, 2%. This is a scam that's been going on because once they get out of this cash system and it goes cashless, because it's coming,
was not believing that.
But they're trying to do Bitcoin and stuff like that, but it'll still be tracked. They're not. The government's not going to do that. They're not going to allow that to happen. Then you're not going to get ahead of them. So once this happens and it goes to cashless, we've got a big problem because now you're forced to do it. Forced to do it. Poorly done. You got to pay the priority. Exactly. I know. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna. I mean, people will pay it. I guess in New Jersey.
Yeah,
I can't get away with that here. Let me tell you something. I was in New Jersey. I was in Goldberg's. You could make that bagel $1,000, and they'll still come.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have any concept of money there.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe, and it's not that Goldberg's is ultimate. It's a great shop. They do very well. It's clean. It's presentable. I cannot believe the money that goes to that place.
Sean Geyer told me that his son ordered a milkshake and a burger through Uber Eats.
Five guys.
And the bill was like $45.
I know.
And he's like, $45 for a shake and a burger. You could have went to the store and picked it up for less money.
Well, listen, I went to the place it was called. It's not even a really good place. TGI, no, not TGI. Ruby Tuesdays. Went to Ruby Tuesdays. And me and Michelle just me and Michelle. We don't drink. $72. It wasn't even like it's a Ruby Tuesdays.
Where? In Jersey?
No, Bloomsburg. Right on Buckhorn.
What?
Murphy says I always
You
pay cash.
$72?
72. Like she got this like thing with shrimp and stuff. So I could see that being like $25. I got a steak and potatoes. That's it. You know, maybe I think we maybe got mozzarella sticks. Maybe.
You know you got mozzarella sticks.
$72. That was like $4 for Coke. $4 for Coke. Now, Murphy, I know you said everyone pays cash. You always pay cash. That's what the problem is. More people I mean, I see kids that are 12 and 13 years old with debit cards.
Well, now it's on the phone. So
they push it. They just push it so much that they're going to slowly go away from that. It's taken generations to get away from that. But I was just looking at it the other day. Do you realize, like, if you think about it, Jay-Z would know with me. 1990, how far we've come from 1990 to 2025. Do you think Nana would ever said that we could watch stuff on the phone? Do you think Nana would ever say, "Oh, I could see you on TV"? Never. Jackie Gleason was on TV. Johnny Carson. You two idiots will never get on TV. We can get on anytime we want.
Yeah.
Never in a million years would that have happened. Never.
No.
And so you to see that we're going to go cashless. I could see it happening.
The younger generation already don't know how to carry cash.
Yeah.
They all have everything on their phone.
Or count cash, let alone carry cash.
Yep.
Count cash is correct. You know Sean said that about Danny at the bagel store, right?
I mean, it was hard. It's like, what? Oh, how the hell? And I remember Sean was the one who told me I do cash, but I mean, I don't know. I like my two. Landon knows how to count cash back at the register because he's forced to do it. I said, you got to do it. So he's got to do it. But Jackson likes the technology. Like he doesn't text. He talks it. Yeah, he talks it. I don't get it. I mean, again, I was never gonna. I'm never texting. I'm always gonna call. There is a school out there right now in college that teaches a class for millennials how to answer phones and act when a phone call because they get scared. It's called like phone phobia.
Oh
yeah,
geez.
I swear. Patrick McDavid just had it on his podcast. How is this? How are we going this far? How are we this far? This far away? It's incredible.
And it's only going to get, farther. We're only going to get farther with the stuff.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think a lot of people think that when Trump comes in, things are going to magically turn. It's not. No. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Biden. I don't care if it's Kamala Harris. I don't care if it's Barack Obama.
JD Vance.
It's going to take a long time to change. We have to start changing. We got to start straightening our shit out because this is not good. No. Whatever's happening, I couldn't tell you, but it ain't good. This ain't good. A lot of this stuff too also is It's up and down. We're gonna what's this now? I remember when I didn't have text because at 10. now think about it. Think about how free everything is now.
Yep.
We've gotten a lot of stuff.
Unlimited.
I try to pay with cash, but I like to use the card to get the points.
That's where they get you.
Another scam there, Danny. I hate to tell you how they do that in the back end. It comes back to the guy who collects that cash, collects that credit card. They're going to charge me a little bit more percentage on that end. You're getting it free allegedly from them. They're getting it from me.
You're the one paying for. You're the one paying.
I'm the one paying it. Yes, I'm the one paying it on the back end. It's a certain little percentage. Yep.
So then what you have to do is you're going to have to raise your prices. So that's where everything goes up.
Everything goes up. Everything goes up. They don't care. They don't. It's such. I find it hard to even fathom all these things. How much because I was looking at the prices today of the eggs and the last year. Oh, here's another one. Wait do you hear this one? Now Joe Morara told me this was okay. Locks. Okay. I swear it was $26 for a 3-pound thing. I could swear, right? I went today to get it. $97. I said, there's no for locks. Now I get it, it's salmon, but holy crap.
So how much do you charge it for?
I gotta raise it now. I mean, I was charging $8. Now you're looking $9-10 because you're putting a couple slices on that, plus the cream cheese. Cream cheese. Remember that block of cream cheese, the 30-pound block of cream cheese you used to get? Mm-hmm. That was $32. $197.
Oh,
Jesus!
$218 today. When I went, it was $197 last time I bought it. $218 today. Wow, this stuff's out of control. It's out of control.
Never go down? Do you think? No. These prices.
Yeah, but that's the new medium. Like, think about this, Jay-Z. When we said, "Oh, if gas ever gets to $1, I'll never do it again," right? It went to $3, and people were like, "Oh my God, $3." Then it went to $2. And, oh, thank God.
And that's
but it just doubled. It just doubled, and they got you. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all business tactic they do. They do it around here a lot with the counties. They say, "Oh, we're going to raise taxes 40%," and everyone freaks. Then they raise taxes 10%. They got 10%.
Yep.
Says $1.10. Now $2.70. Is it $3.50 for a slice now?
Just about. Yep, $3.50. Yep, that's it. $3.50.
Chino, is it $3.50 for a slice?
Well, we just got one from Tony D's. How much was it? You didn't look.
Oh, I didn't look.
It was probably about $3.25.
Wasn't bad though. Wasn't bad because I remember mine was only $6 for that guy. Well, I'll never see again. That guy, Tony D's, Jay-Z, rudest guy. Rudest guy.
I saw him at the wake.
We just smacked him in the back of the head. The guy was rude. The guy was the rudest guy, and he sold, so he's not there anymore. He's not going to be there anymore. Like I was asking him, like I was genuinely happy for the guy. I said, "Oh, you sold out. Good for you. Good for you." Like, yeah.
One, he didn't even turn around to look.
Didn't even turn around to look. Shoving his face full of garbage, just with a stupid napkin. I want to smack him in the back of the head. Stupid guy. Stupid. Just an idiot. Just an idiot. I hope he's watching. But I like Tony D's though. I like Tony D's pizza. The number one with oil and vinegar, nothing else on it. Very good. Very good. I like Tony D's. But they definitely got to figure something out. Someone said go Eagles. Let's see.
Yes, the Eagles must have won.
They must have won. Let's see here.
It's final.
It is final. The Eagles go move on 22-10. Now the Eagles next week, they will go against.
Depends who wins tonight.
Oh, that's right. Tonight is the Commanders. Oh boy, the Commanders and who else? Commanders and the Buccaneers.
Tough game.
Boy, that's a tough game to call. The Eagles have a tough game either way. Either way, the Eagles got a tough game. Yep. Who would have thought the Commanders would be back in this? Wow.
I said it was sleeper team in the beginning of our 4th and Bros.
Yep.
So. I said they were my sleeper team.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Nutella.
No, Nutella. I don't know what
Nutella. Yeah.
That's not Nutella.
That doesn't look like Nutella. I think it's Nutella.
Isn't that a German cream cheese?
I don't know.
Nothing beats.
I don't eat cheese, so I don't care.
Murphy, nothing beats Philadelphia cream cheese. I can taste the difference instantly if someone gives me crap.
It's
I
just
can-
like mayonnaise.
Tempty, you like Temptino? Tempty?
I'll take Tempty. I'll take that because remember Nana used to have that shit.
Yeah,
It was like it was the cheap. You had Philadelphia means like okay, you were doing all right.
Yep. Then we had Tempty.
Tempty, step down. It was like that was the Kmart of of the Neiman Marcus. You'd have Neiman Marcus. You have Kmart.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was Edmonds, and then we had the Little Debbie's.
Yeah. Entenmann's, Little Debbie. You have Entenmann's, you're doing all right. You have Little Debbie's, things might be a little tight at the front.
Mom was like, "Go get that Edmonds cake for George."
Yes, yeah. Entenmann's cooked. I haven't eaten Entenmann's in a while. I know it don't look it, but I haven't eaten it in a while. I haven't. I'm trying to stay away from the sugar, man.
That'll kill you.
I'm like, that's brutal.
You
You're
know,
talking about what?
How's that box of M&Ms?
That was a little different because here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I was getting like dizzy, lightheaded, and I had to grab. You know, Sam's Club has that big thing. I just grabbed it and started eating it. By like a handful.
You know how I know I'm getting old? I had a drink of wine not too long ago, and my legs swelled up. I couldn't walk. My knees were bothering me. I was
you need a water pill.
Maybe I need a water pill or something, but I don't know. That's how I knew I was in trouble.
Oh boy, here goes Michelle putting her 2 cents in. What does this dummy have to say?
Goonie.
Oh yes, no, the M&Ms are gone.
Oh,
hey, I left her 2 in the bottom of the thing. She goes, are you really gonna leave me 2? Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up, huh?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. Let's go, guys, real quickly. Go around here. Jersey, where can they get a hold of you? What channels do you have, and where can they like and subscribe?
Well, we got Tuesdays. We got Fourth and Bros coming up this week. Then Thursdays, I have Greg. I also have former MLB pitcher Kyle Farnsworth coming on. Play for the Yankees, play for the Mets. He'll be on live with me and Greg. So
Coach Diz, you coming up soon. Have you guys got a schedule together for Diz and Los?
We got some things working. We'll release the information on maybe just one of these types of videos. We'll just go on one day just to release it.
Okay. Now I do not have the intros for them. I was going to play at the end of the thing because I had to get back from with him, so I don't have it. But be looking out for it. So you are on with me, Boxing and Bagels, usually on Sundays. We haven't been doing them because again, boxing's dead. But February, like Tech Dumb Dad said, is going to be heating up. I'm going to have Kevin on this week. Percy reached out to me. We're going to be on with him too. Also, guys, the Zapata Brand Media is opening up to any podcasters or anybody who wants editing or what have you on our platform. We're open to that. If you want to, podcast at thezapatabrand.com, podcast at thezapatabrand, podcast.com. Leave me, it's podcast at thezapatabrand.com. Leave me a letter, put that down there, and let me know what you need. We can get you hooked up. The Zapata Brand Media is the umbrella and parent company of Jersey Jay-Z, straight out of Jersey. The Zapata Brand podcast, Fourth and Goal with the Bros, and the newest one, Diz and Los, all on the Zapata Brand channel umbrella. Chino, yes, you are a professional.
Dan, have a good night.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week. Probably we're going to be doing more lives. That's our new thing in the new year. Guys, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.